Hi, welcome again to another episode of Trench's Take on Today's Tech, and I'll be your host, Trench. Today, I've got another amazing product to show you today, and you will absolutely love it. This is the Cube Timer by Miracle Cube, and it is beautiful. It's very sleek, it's very modern, and it's minimalist, and I love minimalistic items, especially little hacks that I can use to help me improve my workflow in a day. Now, this timer is very special because there's 4 times on this. There's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. And these are very handy to use because if you got to throw in some cookies, for example, in the oven for 15 minutes, all you have to do is take the timer, roll it upside down, and on the back end of the timer, you'll see there's a off, a low, and a high switch. Right now it's off, so I'll just turn it to the high because I always like stuff louder because this thing can get pretty loud. So if you're not comfortable with ear-piercing sounds, then you probably would want to just stick to low, but you'll hear it pretty much either way. So I'll turn this on by flicking this switch all the way to the end. And that beep signifies that it is now turned on. I'll set it down, and since there's no timer on the top right here, then it's not going to do a countdown. Now, if I want to do it for, say, 5 minutes, I'll take the cube, I'll set it to 5 minutes, like so, and then turn it to the top. And that timer, again, it beeps to signal that it has now started the countdown. So it's counting down from 5 minutes, and it'll let you know when it's done. But since we don't want to wait 5 minutes, I'm going to set it to 1 minute just so you can hear what it sounds like when it actually goes off. And just like that, it turns to 1 minute. And while that's going, let me just explain that I think it's a very useful device. However, it's encased in a hard plastic shell, but it feels like the insides are pretty fragile. So I definitely would not suggest you go out and play dodgeball with this because chances are it's going to break the timer before it hurts another person. I'm not condoning by any means you going out and throwing this at the wall or anything, or at people for that matter. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that this could survive a drop from 5 feet above. Your phone's got a better chance of not cracking the glass. So as we wait for this timer, if you'll notice as it approaches closer and closer, it beeps faster. There you go. Now I know that it's done. To turn off the timer, all I do, and it's reset. And if I want to go to another one, I can go for 10 minutes, 10 minutes, start. There you go. And now it's once again, it started for 10 minutes. I don't know if you can see with the camera, but it's blinking a light red color, and it's doing it very slowly. And the faster it gets, the closer you are to when time's up. So when would I recommend you using a product like this, other than as a standard kitchen timer, which distractions can exist and you can still do things in the kitchen? I would suggest this for people that want to work in a distraction-free environment. For example, trying to write a book. I would suggest you use this timer instead of, say, your phone or maybe a computer, because this timer doesn't distract you with constant notifications. You see, this timer basically blurs out the rest of the world, and it enables you to focus just you and that task at hand that you're trying to accomplish. So it would be very useful for maybe yoga. It would enable you to fully concentrate without worrying about, or maybe save you from that extra distracting phone call when you're doing yoga from your boss, trying to get you to come in on your day off. Minutes, and it starts the countdown on the little LCD screen on the back. So this lets you know how much time is left. And once again, once you put the blank face or a 0 on top, it'll turn the timer off so you don't have to worry about it. Now, situations in which I think this would prove to be very useful as opposed to using, say, your phone or your computer is when you need to completely eliminate distractions to focus on your work. So, for example, it would be a lot more useful to use this timer and not get distracted from, say, your wife calling you to letting you know that someone needs to pick your kid up from school. Or maybe you're trying to write that magical piece. Maybe you're an author and you're trying to write that New York Times bestseller novel. And you don't want to get distracted in the middle of your eureka moment. You need to update your Facebook app on your phone. What I am getting at, this is a very good product. I think it's a very useful product in certain situations. I definitely would not recommend this based off of its durability alone, because if you look, let me turn it off, and you can hear it. There's a little ball or something there. I have no idea what it is, and I cannot tell by any type of research, but there's like a little ball inside that you can hear rattle, and it just makes it feel very cheap, especially with the plastic shell covering over top of it. But other than that, as far as usefulness, I think it's an A+. As far as durability goes, I think it's a C-. So let's just give this an average of a B. Be very careful when you're handling this. These guys also come in more than just the one I have here. I actually have another one. This one has 5, 15, 30, and 60. And they're fun little things to have around the house. And that way you don't have to worry about having an electronic device laying around or getting your phone or something. You can just put these and you could do a 15-minute meditation. You could do a 15-minute meditation, for example, and there you go. Don't have to worry about, there's actually about 8 of them you can choose from, but really and truly, I think you only need 1 or 2 of the times that you use most frequently. This has been the Miracle Time Cube Timer. If you want to see the full selection of the different timers that they have to use, you can check down the link below. And this has been the Miracle Time Cube Timer on Trench's Take on Today's Tech. Thank you again for tuning in, and look for us next time. Thank you. Hey you. Welcome to another episode of Trench's Take on Today's Tech. And I'm your host, Trench. Derek, you're looking and you're distracting me. I don't know if there's anything up there in my head. It's just full of air. Just nothing.
Then maybe you just can't do it after all.
They're fun. You can roll them around like dice. 31. And they're so big, I think a baby could even use it.